Okay, real fast, I'm going to go over a couple of basic definitions about utility and marginal utility and diminishing marginal utility, and we are going to use those definitions to do some figuring in the next couple of videos, but I wanted you to be able to get down what these things mean as a basis for moving forward, looking at things more mathematically, okay? So the first one, I just want to talk about the idea of what we call utility. Utility is a satisfaction from an economic decision measured in dollars. Sometimes we measure it in a measurement called utils, like it gave me 40 utils worth of satisfaction, but essentially we can just measure it in dollars, okay? And an example might be my utility for the UK-Georgia football game will be $200. Your utility doesn't have to be the price. It's how much satisfaction you're going to get from something. So I might get lots of satisfaction from a UK football game or a UK basketball game or UK volleyball game or something where others might not get it. Regardless of the price, our utility is how much satisfaction we're getting from something, and it's all individualized, right? So those of you who like concerts a lot, like Mr. Nolan, might have a really high utility for some, weird, stupid band that's demonic and bangs their head. And then maybe I don't have utility for that because I don't like going to concerts. Nolan's been to 1,000 concerts and loves going to Kiss concerts and all kind of crazy stuff, and his utility is high. He hates sports, and it's really all I do, so I have high utility for football games, okay? And that's fine. Everyone's utility is different. However, our utility also, we need to measure it in different ways. And in economics, we oftentimes measure stuff on the margin. And the margin means once we add one more. So our marginal utility would be this is the delta sign means change. It's the change in utility or satisfaction with each additional decision. So, for example, let's say I'm watching the UK-Georgia game, okay, and it's the exact same game. So let's say I'd pay $200 to go watch that game. But then when I watch the exact same game on television again, I'm not getting $200 worth of satisfaction. Now I might be getting some satisfaction, but I'm not getting $200 worth. And let's say the fifth time I watch that exact same game, my utility would be even different, right? My marginal utility changes with each additional of the same decision. So, for example, another example would be, let's say you're eating pizza. Your utility, the satisfaction you get would be different with the first piece than it would be with like the second piece, or the third piece, or the fourth piece, right? So our satisfaction changes with each additional one. We call that marginal utility, the change in utility with each additional purchase or decision. And what that leads us to is what we call the law of diminishing marginal utility. What that means is when we do the same thing over and over and over and over and experience the same thing over and over and over and over, our utility goes down with each additional one. So like that football game, the Georgia game, right? So maybe I'm watching UK-Georgia live, my utility is $200. But then my marginal utility for the next one, having already seen it once live, maybe my marginal utility would be $20. And maybe the third time, which I've already now seen it twice, I know what all the plays are, I know what's going to happen, I know when they're going to score, maybe my marginal utility is $5. And so every time it goes further and further down. Another way to look at this, and again, it's with each new addition or decision, marginal utility is diminished. We can say that with pizza. Another one could be like with ice cream. Maybe the first ice cream you have, you're like, wow, this is really good. Second ice cream, you're not getting as much satisfaction. Maybe by the time you're at your fourth ice cream or cup of ice cream, you are receiving no satisfaction or even like negative marginal utility. So your utility's not just diminishing, it's diminishing into negative territory. We've all been so full that we're like, dude, I'm so full, I'm miserable. Eating would make me worse off. That would mean you'd have a negative marginal utility. Not that the utility would be diminishing or going down, because you can do that. You can have for a slice of pizza, maybe you're getting $5 worth of satisfaction in the first slice, and then $3 worth of satisfaction in the next slice. Well, that's still positive, right? You're still gaining satisfaction. You're just not gaining as much. Well, by the seventh piece, maybe you're like, maybe it's making your life worse. Maybe you're getting like -$4. Like, I'd pay $4 to not eat this pizza, right? So that is what utility means, marginal utility means, and the law of diminishing marginal utility, which is going to be the basis for how our demand curves work, which we'll get to in the next unit. But I'm going to be showing you this with a couple different of numerical scenarios, so you can just sort of see how this plays out in real life, and then, it makes full sense. And the whole point of teaching this is so you know that, again, economics is about behavior, and this is just being able to track the way that we, record behavior, mathematically record behavior, which allows us to graph it, which allows us to see it in predictable terms, okay?